Welcome, wrestling fans. You got the show here, and we're back here again to talk about pro wrestling. And we're here to talk about the revolution. The revolution is now. Again, I said I like every brand of wrestling that's out there today because at some point and feature, there's something good in every one of them, and there's some bad, some more, some less. But today, just to show that I'm not a TNA mark, all right, or just an independent smark fanboy, that type of thing, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the WWE. Now, a lot of people out there detest the WWE, the PG era, John Cena, and what they're doing lately with Batista, Randy Orton, and how they've been dicking over Daniel Bryan. And things got bad enough that CM Punk walked the hell out of the company, took his ball, went home, and he's out. He's out of the game. He's out of WrestleMania, gave up on his contract, and that says something. I'm not going to go into CM Punk and the whole phenomenon with him leaving the industry like he did. But it comes down to this. Things are the way they are right now because a certain Vincent Kennedy McMahon is still holding on as much as he can to the company that he built. And you can't blame the man for doing that. But the thing is, times have changed and Vince has not. And Vince is still trying to live life like it was in the 80s and even in the 90s. And the thing is, it's time for him to let go, to let Stephanie and Triple H run this company the way they've been trying to get it done for the past 5 years or so, but have been continuously cock-blocked by Vince and his regime of older guys holding on to their spots and their job backstage, not wanting to give them up. Now, Triple H, some of you may like him, some of you may not, but the thing is this, Triple H is a big fan of certain things that Vincent Kennedy McMahon is not a fan of. And one of those things is tag team wrestling. And as you're seeing now, tag team wrestling has begun its move back into the forefront of the WWE. Surprisingly enough, some of you may not believe it, but Triple H and Stephanie are also big proponents of the cruiserweight division. They've been trying to get a cruiserweight division off the ground for some time, and initially that was going to be its own program on the network when they were looking to become a cable station and not the new phenomenon that they have become. Now that hasn't occurred, but what you do have is NXT, which for all intents and purposes is almost like a cruiserweight X division style indie promotion. I'm not in total support of NXT for the fact that the WWE is using that as a means to scoop up all the indie talent out there and to put the squeeze on the independent promotions, whether it be Ring of Honor, CZW, PWG, and guys even smaller into your local talent base is not the matter. They want to take everybody that they can get and get them under contract so they cannot wrestle for anybody else. And that puts the hurt on Japan, that hurts TNA, that hurts Ring of Honor, and that hurts the little wrestler who's trying to get his way up the ladder, and he's going to be stuck down in Sale University down there in Orlando area in Florida, being repackaged and made into a cookie cutter version of whatever it is the company wants them to be. Now, they got some tremendous talent down there right now. You got Sami Zayn, who was El Generico. You got a guy going by the name of Solomon Crow. And in case you didn't know him, he was Sami Callihan. Used to be tag team partners with a man named John Moxley, who you know a little bit better these days as Dean Ambrose. But back in the day, they were a tag team of brutal matches and hardcore death match, blood, guts, you name it, brother. They were tearing it up on the independent circuit. And that's another one that's been swallowed up. And they're trying to get their hands on Prince Devitt, talked to you about that before, and I think Prince has let it marinate on the brain a bit and decided that he doesn't want to get locked in and having his name changed and losing out his ability to make the money and the celebrity and the prestige that he has in Japan, in Europe. And you know, it's my hope is that he's going to eventually sign with TNA, and if not, I hope he stays in New Japan and does what he's got to do over there. But there are some tag teams out there that I want to see brought forth, and they're not signed by anybody here in the States yet, except for Ring of Honor has a couple of them. But the biggest and the best out there is a team with one Lance Hoyt, Davey Boy Smith Jr., okay, go by the name of KES, the Killer Elite Squad. And they're really, truly the type of tag team that the WWE would be known for. They're big, they're powerful. They are the best pound for pound power team in tag team wrestling today, in my opinion. And they're tearing it up in Japan. And Lance wrestles all over the world and all over the United States, NWA, and other promotions. And if he can't get signed somewhere here in the States, it's a goddamn crime. These boys deserve to be on television every week for the fans here in the United States and even up in Canada. Don't want to leave my friends up north out of the mix on this. I talk about things here more or less in the States because that's where I'm at. I'm here in the grand state of New Jersey, a Jersey boy my whole life. So that's the way it comes out sometimes. But if you have not seen the KES, I urge you, if you're not a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan, you get on the YouTube, punch them up, go to Daily Motion, other places, you look up KES, you punch in Lance Hoyt. Okay, he was Lance Archer. You had him. He was Vance Archer when he was in the WWE for a short time. Was not used at all the way he needed to be. He originally started out with TNA under the name of Dallas, and he was in the Rock and Rave Connection. And Lance is one hell of a wrestler. And of course, you get no better than the British Bulldog's son, Davey Boy Harry Smith Jr. And he's just the kind of guy, I just wanted to pontificate out there a bit today. I'm not as fired up as I was on my last video. I'm not angry. I'm just here to say that you guys out there that I am not a WWE hater. Okay? I like wrestling in all forms or fashions. Even if the company doesn't want to call it pro wrestling, that's fine. But just here to say that with the revolution being now, that means that we as pro wrestling fans in this age of social media need to reach out and let the powers that be know how you feel. That means if you don't think they're using your wrestler the way you want them used, tweet that shit. Get that on Facebook. Get everything out there. Get as many people pounding it in to the Triple H's, to the Stephanie McMahons, to the Kevin Dunn's. Okay, you're going to TNA, to Dave Lagana, Jeremy Barash, Christy Hemme, Al Snow, whoever you need to get in contact with, add them in, tweet them in, tell them how you feel when they're doing a good job. Tell them they're doing a good job. When you think they're doing piss poor, let them know they're doing piss poor, and get as many people there to retweet and send that shit and make it a phenomenon across the virtual worlds of the internet, and let them know how you want things to be. Because we control this. We buy the tickets, we watch the television, and if we don't like it, then maybe sometimes it's time to turn that sumbitch off and tell them, and then you know what? Until you get this shit right, we're not paying for it anymore. We're not going to watch it anymore. Prime example being right now, and I'm telling you this myself, if the WWE does not put the World Heavyweight title on Daniel Bryan's waist, at WrestleMania. I think it's the biggest mistake that they've made in over a decade, and I think they're going to lose a lot of fans, and they're going to walk away, because right now, nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to see Batista and Randy Orton in the main event at WrestleMania going for the title. Okay, Randy Orton, as great as a wrestler and the potential he had, is boring as a can of paint. Dave Batista is a funny looking bastard now with some weird head he's got going on. He don't know how to dress. He lost his ability to talk and shoot a promo. He wants to be a gold age actor now and talk everything like he's going for an Oscar, instead of just coming out and being the beast Dave Batista that he was. He coming in and kicking ass. They wanted him to come out as a face. The fans hated him. He's Bootista. So now he's trying to be a bad guy, and that's not working either. I was glad to hear that Daniel Bryan and WWE decided to put this stipulation where he's going to wrestle Triple H, and if he beats him at WrestleMania in the early match, they're going to put him in a three-way dance for the title. But I'm telling you, if he doesn't walk out, it's been too goddamn long of a build, and you know what? The fans are going to walk away, because you can't tease them and jerk us around all this time. And you got a guy that's the most over guy in the company. He's one of the most popular characters you've had in the WWE since your Rock and Stone Cold eras, and even to the fact that with John Cena, I'm going to venture to say that merchandise-wise, Daniel Bryan is selling as much T-shirts and foam fingers and everything else that CM Punk and John Cena are selling, and masks that Rey Mysterio and everything else is doing. And it's time that the company change, and it is changing. You're seeing the guys are there. They have the talent. So many guys from Ring of Honor area are there in the WWE from the independents, and they're waiting, and they're going to move them in. And because wrestling has evolved, and it's not all about the big jack-roided, steroid, pumped, juice, gassed freaks out there. You're going to have some big ones, but see, the guy like Ryback, they're really not falling for him anymore. They're not liking that. They want to see a guy that can move around the ring, tell a story, got some ring psychology, and can talk on the mic on top of it. Because you got to be able to work that stick along with working what you got in the ring. Go over with the fans. That's part of the game. And in this day and age, you cannot do that. And that's another thing they got, where if you got a wrestler who can't talk, well then goddamn, Paul Heyman can't be everybody's manager, but you got other guys out there that could be talking for these guys, talking for these certain tag teams, building them up and making things entertaining on TV without going into the world of stupidity. That's all I got to say for tonight. I'll see you guys down the road. I just wanted to put it out there and let folks know that I'm not just a fanboy or a mark for TNA or for Ring of Honor or for all the independents, and that I don't like anything coming from Titan Tower in Stamford, Connecticut. I do watch the product. I'm not super happy with it. All right, but I see the potential there, and I think that with enough voices being sounded out across the internet and enough people in the crowds with their signs and their chants and the like, make your voices heard and let them know. And you know what, God damn it, if you can get enough of you sumbitches out there, when they come out in the ring and you got some idiot out there doing shit from the authority that you don't like, you know, when Batista comes out or Randy Orton, don't chant the other dude's name. You know what you do? Dead silence. And you know what you do? Turn your back like this. You stand there with your arms crossed and your back turned, and don't turn around and say a goddamn word until those sumbitches walk out of the ring. And then you turn back around and cheer who you want to cheer for and see the people you want to see. I don't know what they would do if they had 10,000 people turn their back to the camera on the next live Raw or the next pay-per-view, and when the whole entire crowd was to go dead silent. Dead air is one of the worst things that they can have in a live situation. They can't control that. They're going to pipe in a bunch of crowd noise with a bunch of people with their backs to the camera. I don't think so. It won't work that way. You guys got to work that. You got to get that together. They got flash mobs. Goddamn, get that shit together with it. You can get enough of you WWE fans, TNA fans, whoever it might be, and whatever promotion you're at. You don't like it? Turn your back on them some bitches and be quiet and don't say a word until they make it go the way you want it to go. I'm out. See you next time.